A new model farm has been commissioned at TARLOGIE in the CORENTYNE, one that showcases best practices in climate-smart agriculture for both crops and livestock, to be used as a teaching aid for both farmers and students across Region 6. This latest facility brings to 2 the number of such facilities in Berbice, the other being in Region 5, and was established by NARI through funding provided by the International Development Bank (IDB) under the ASDU program at the Ministry of Agriculture. The TARLOGIE Model Farm showcases the use of modern technology in irrigation, the cultivation of exotic crops such as broccoli and cauliflower, corn, bell peppers, etc. It also showcases the rearing of livestock in elevated pens, as the case with sheep, aquaculture in the form of brackish water shrimp rearing, etc. Speaking at the commissioning exercise Saturday, Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa said the farm is another example of government's commitment to push for change in the way the business of agriculture is conducted across Guyana. He stressed that gone are the days when farmers should be practicing agriculture in the way their fathers and grandfathers did, but that farming should now be done scientifically, with precision and with the climate in mind.
The objective of the Ministry of Agriculture is to have, at least in every region of this country, a model farm. And why it's important to have these model farms? As the chairman of the CORENTYNE Chamber just said, that sometimes people think that we want to bring them here to just take a look at the animal or some of the crops being grown here. But a model farm is very important for us, first of all, as we heard many speakers who spoke just now, talk about sustainable agriculture, talk about research and development, innovation and modernization. And that is all what we are trying to achieve in the agriculture sector. Because when you talk or when you speak about agriculture, many times our young people relate it as how Mr. Punai just described it. A job for people who never went to school, or a job for people in the middle or mature age, or a menial job, a job that doesn't have any significant, or what you will call it, they see it as a low-paying job, a job that is low in status. But we are trying to change that perception. And here I want to disagree a little with the regional chairman when he said that agriculture is the second most important activity for us. For me, and I am not being prejudiced here, and all of you will agree with me wholeheartedly, that agriculture is the most important activity for all of us. Without agriculture, first of all, we can't have food, and we can't have food security. And that's the perception we have to change.
According to Minister Mustafa, Guyana's efforts at advancing and modernizing its agriculture sector is not only important for Guyana, but for the wider Caribbean, as CARICOM has over the last 4 years been leaning on Guyana for its leadership in realizing the 25% reduction in food imports by the end of 2025.
But for the first time in the history of CARICOM, we have seen the political will from the other leaders in CARICOM to embrace some of the ideas or most of the ideas that was put forward by His Excellency the President. Why? Because it's practical ideas and it's ideas that can be accomplished. And when our President made that presentation in 2021 in Belize, I was there with him, and he put forward the idea that, look, the countries in the Caribbean are importing too many products that we can produce. And he showed how we can achieve from 2021 to 2025. He showed how we can achieve a reduction of the food import bill by 25%. And from there, a task force was set up. And today, I am happy to say that that task force and the countries in CARICOM are making very, very strong effort to achieve that goal. And with farms like these, what we are doing here now, in the history of our country, we never had these farms so that we can enlighten our young people, where our young people can have a different perception about agriculture. And as I said, that the perception that they have now, we want to change that. We want to ensure that we make agriculture more modern, make agriculture more resilient, so that they can embrace agriculture. Today, what we are doing, we have been working and partners with a number of organizations, especially the private sector, to have investment in this very important sector. Today, our country, we have embarked on a program where all the crops and all the activities that we have started since the inception, our foreparents came to Guyana, we have started to expand those areas. We have seen increased production over the last 4 years.
The Agriculture Minister pointed to agriculture's contribution to the growth in Guyana's gross domestic product, GDP, for 2023, a solid 12%, disclosing that this year agriculture has contributed an impressive 8% to GDP for the first half of 2024, on track for an even bigger end-of-year performance.
For the first last year, agriculture grew by almost 12%, the agriculture sector. For the first half of this year, we have seen growth. The agriculture sector grew by 8.7%. And that tells us a story, because when a number of countries around the world, many people, as Guyana is the fastest growing economy, and we have the largest growth rate in the world, many persons are alluding that to the oil and gas sector. Yes, the oil and gas sector is important, it's causing us a lot of growth. But when you have sectors, the traditional sectors, that experience double-digit growth for a year, that's a tremendous achievement. Because countries around the world which are not producing oil and gas, their economies are contracting. And imagine one sector, the agriculture sector last year grew by 12%. And this year again we are seeing a tremendous growth. For the first 6 months, the mid-year report, if you go and read the Minister of Finance mid-year's report, you will see that the agriculture sector grew by 8.7%. And it's testimony to show that the agriculture sector is moving, and we are moving rapidly. I see Mr. Rambridge, who is the president of the RPA, in the crowd, and he will tell you, and many of you who are rice farmers here will know, since the starting of rice planting in our country, since our foreparents came to Guyana, introduced that activity into our country, for the first time in the history of this country, we have surpassed the 700,000 ton mark in rice production.
Earlier, Ministry of Education official Ms. Janet Crandon had lauded the Model Farm initiative, pointing out that it is an important step in providing a practical facility for students to see firsthand modern agriculture in action.
This is not just a piece of land, it is a vision. Your vision, Minister, brought to life, a testament in innovation, sustainability, and good leadership, not to mention community collaboration. As we stand on this fertile ground, we are reminded of the vital role that agriculture plays in our lives. Our commitment to farming goes beyond mere production. It encompasses the principles of stewardship, environmental responsibility, and the pursuit of knowledge. This model farm serves as a beacon of hope, illustrating how we, as educators, students, and teachers, can harness modern techniques while respecting traditional practices. This initiative hopes to showcase the best practices in sustainable agriculture, from crop rotation and organic farming to innovative irrigation methods and renewable energy. We hope to inspire farmers, teachers, students, and yes, the community members alike to adopt strategies not only enhancing productivity but also protect the precious resource, our future. Students, that is you. We at the Ministry of Education, more so the TVET unit where I work, and just to pause it, the TVET unit is the unit that is responsible for technical and vocational education within the country. Sees this model farm as the government of Guyana commitment to education. Yes, I say commitment to education because the government of Guyana has just signed into action that regardless of if a child gets grade 1 or 2 or 5 subjects, once a child has completed CPQ, the child has matriculated, meaning the child is fit to enter the workplace, a workplace like this. This model farm will equip students with the necessary skills to function out there. Not only students, but the Sierra Potter College of Education can also use this model farm to teach our teachers the necessary skills in agriculture.
Also offering remarks was President of the Central Corentyne Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Punai Big Rouge. He recalled challenging Minister Mustafa to establish the facility.
Today is exactly 21 days from the day that I had challenged the minister that we need a model farm in Berbice. And we are here 3 weeks later, 21 days, and we are at the opening. This tells me very much about the quality of the minister that we have. It goes to say that the minister operates just as the private sector. Being from the private sector, we are known to get things done in a jiffy time. We don't, so much of protocols you got to go through. And, Minister, I must say that I'm very, very happy to be standing here this afternoon at this short notice that you've given and you've gotten this place open. We have to understand the importance of farming, and I just want to more talk to our young, the school kids here, or the young aspiring farmers. We have to see farming as not being something that, people got this concept that farming is some man with some cutlass and a whole bag hang over his shoulder and, just walk and chop little wheat, plant little baigan or mind two sheep and walk home and visit. No. Farming in the world today has taken a different, is been done so differently. Whilst we are getting there, whilst we still have some old ways that we do things. But the Ministry of Agriculture, if we follow the news carefully, for this year alone, the minister had a lab open. We had a lab open so we can do testing. We can do different stuff. We are taking it to a different level. And the Ministry of Agriculture understands the importance of food security in Guyana. And if you look across the world and see what's happening today, food is becoming scarcer and scarcer, not just in Guyana, but the cost of living is going up throughout the world. And this is because of scarcity, different challenges, global warming, the older generation coming out of farming, the younger generation not being too inclined to be into farming. So I want to challenge these younger kids here, and I have Miss from the ministry. I think we would have to task you with let them understand the importance of what farming is. They might come to this farm in a couple of days and they might feel that they're coming to a petting zoo. When kids come, they see sheep and goat and they feel that they come to a petting zoo and might want to have this misconceived idea. But I want to challenge you that when they come here or try to incorporate during the holiday session school programs that would get them with the long boots and they would come in here and go clean the pig pen and they would go clean the sheep pen. And they would go help cut grass and they would go help to do things that would actually get them involved directly into agriculture. And that's when they would know the feeling of it. I must also tell you, see some of them smiling, It's a profitable business. Agriculture if we do it as a business, it is a profitable business. Many kids pass through school, we don't hear they say they want to become farmers. Everybody, lawyer, doctor, teacher, but hardly you hear they say they want to become farmers. But farming is a noble profession. It's a profession that we have used since man has been here. I mean, from gatherer to hunter. It's a profession that we feed ourselves and we feed the world.
The model farm is located just past the Ministry of Agriculture facility on the turn at TARLOGIE, Corentyne, and is open to the public Monday to Saturday between the hours of 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. In addition to crops and livestock, the farm also showcases aquaculture in tanks, highlighting the possibility of growing brackish water shrimp as seen here. Following the formal aspects of the program, Minister Mustafa and others at the head table were taken on a tour of the farm.